Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dominic, this is Zach, this is Brandon, and we're 95 Tactical. And in today's video, we will be discussing the Sig integrated comp versus the Parker mount machine barrel comp. In this video, we will be discussing some of the common questions you may have on these products. The topics in question are accuracy, return to zero, muzzle flash in low light conditions, felt recoil reduction, performance with different grains of ammo, holster compatibility, price and availability, and lastly, pros and cons.
Alright, for the accuracy test, we shot both of the comps next to the stock P365 XL slide non-comps to get a reading on the differences in accuracy. We shot all three of these benched at 10 and 25 yards to see if there's any deviation among the three. Alright, so we just finished the accuracy portion for the 10 yards. Here we have the target down here as stock XL slide with the integral comp slide and the Parker mount machine comp. As you can see, at 10 yards, the deviation between all of them are fairly similar. They're not really too big a difference in accuracy at all. But we're going to push out 25 yards and see if we get any more deviation here. Alright, so we just finished the accuracy test at 25 yards. Again, here's the stock, the integral, and the Parker mount machine comp. As you see, this may just be a zero issue, but the grouping up here is still fairly tight for the stock XL slide. Same for the integral comp. This is literally the deviation right here. As you see, there's barely any deviation from here to here. Same from over here as well. This is actually almost the same grouping on all of them. So as far as accuracy within 25 yards, I'd say this isn't really an issue regardless of whatever option you go with.
Next is going to be return to zero. We did shoot all three of these slides out on the range the other night. We did get first person view shots of the red dot to see when they return back to zero on their fire. So after watching those videos, we did notice that the non-comped slides had the most violent red dot behavior. Compared to both comp slides, they were both noticeably better at return to zero. However, the barrel comp was slightly easier to track.
The next topic is muzzle flash under low light conditions. To show this, we shot this in a first person view, however under low light conditions only using the weapon mounted light. As seen in the clips, the comp versions did have a noticeable amount more muzzle flash. However, it does happen so fast that it's not distracting or obstructing our view of the target.
Alright, for the next topic, we're going to talk about how much does it reduce recoil. For this question, we each tried all three sides back to back to get an immediate comparison of the felt recoil between the three.
Alright, moving on to the back-to-back comparison. We'll be starting with a P365 XL stock slide on top of XMacro grip. So we'll be running these with 147 grains and see how this feels. Start with this. All right, 5 shots. Okay. Whoops. Moving on to the XMacro Comp slide on a XL grip. Felt a little bit smoother there. Moving on to Parker mount machine on an XL grip. Okay, I think this one happened to me. For me, a clear winner. Oh wow. Well, this one, the Parker mount machine, for me, it felt the best, had the best return to zero compared to these two. So I think I'd probably go with this one. Stock to the integral comp, I'd say there's a small difference. Like the return to zero feels a little bit better, but it's not too big of a difference. I mean, is it worth $200, $300 gap? Maybe, if you want the extra edge. I wouldn't say it's not noticeable, but it's not as noticeable as the Parker mount machine. So anything that helps take the edge off is a benefit, I would say. So being the best, I'd say the Parker mount machine onto the integral comp on the XMacro slide, and then stock configuration here.
All right, so my turn to compare the three with the stock and the two comps. I'm going to start with the stock configuration with the macro grip. No comp. Here we go, 5 rounds. All right. Moving on to the integral comp or the Spectre comp slide on the XL grip. Here we go. Okay. And lastly, moving on to the Parker mount machine threaded comp with an XL grip. Here we go. Okay. All right, so they all felt pretty good. Definitely moving from the right to the left, I found that the Parker mount machine definitely did a little more work there. So I'd say I give that my #1 spot. Moving on #2 here would be the integral comp. That definitely actually does do quite a bit of difference. Not so much on the first shot, but as it continued through the third and fourth shot, it definitely started to feel that comp work even more and start pushing it down right at the end of the barrel there. And the stock one still works quite well, but when we saw earlier, we didn't see much difference in accuracy. So I'd always probably go with the comp configuration. So 1, 2, 3 from left to right is my ranking.
All right, so it's now my turn. We're gonna start off with the stock XL slide with the XMacro grip. Do 5 shots. Felt really good. Next, we're gonna do the integrated comp with the XL slide. That felt pretty good too. Not sure what happened on that last one. That one felt really good. So for my list, I'd probably say the threaded compensator worked the best with the XL slide. It did feel pretty smooth coming out, but it almost tied with the integrated comp for the XL or the XMacro integrated comp. That was definitely on my second, and the stock for third. But yeah, they all felt pretty good. I felt after the second or third shot, it felt a lot. It was definitely pushing and working the comp. So yeah.
As seen in the clips, we did notice the integrated comp compared to the non-comp slide reduces the felt recoil by 15 to 20%. As for the barrel comp, we all felt a 30-40% reduction, which Parker mount machine does advertise this on their website.
For this topic, we're comparing the 3 slides with 3 different grades of ammo. We shot them all back to back with 115, 124, and 147 grain. All right, so this is stock XL slide. We go 4 shots with 115 grain ammo. Alright, next we're going to do 124 grain ammo. Next, we're going to do 147 grain ammo. Next is going to be the integrated comp. First 4 rounds of 115 grain ammo. Next is going to be 124 grain. And lastly, it's going to be 147. Next is going to be the Parker Mount Machine Comp. First is going to be 115 grain ammo. Next is going to be 124. Lastly, it's going to be 147. After testing all grains of ammo, the 3 of us concluded that the barrel comp with the 147 grain shot the softest. Next is going to be the holster compatibility. With all these configurations, they equal out the same length as a Sig P365 XL slide. For the barrel comp in specific, we used the regular X slide paired with the barrel comp to make it equal to the length of the XL slide. With that being said, as long as the length is equal to the XL, all holsters are compatible.
Onto the price, the P365 is going to run you $600. Now on top of that, if you want to add the barrel comp from Parker Mounted Machine, that's going to run you an additional $360 with a total of $960. And if you want the Sig Spectre comp, that is $600 on its own. Combined, that would be $1,200. Alternatively, instead of spending $1,200 on the Spectre comp or $960 total on the Parker Mounted Machine comp, you can opt for the XMacro Comp. The only difference is that it does have a larger grip size, which that may compromise some concealability for others, if that may be a deal breaker or not. Also, we did do a review on the XMacro Comp, so if you guys have some extra time, go check that out.
Alright, so lastly we're going to talk about the pros and cons of each of them. Starting with the Spectre comp. There isn't really too many cons for this specifically other than the price. We found the pro was that the felt recoil reduction was anywhere between 15 to 20% for us, but it is double the cost of a regular P365. Now for the Parker Mounted Machine comp, definitely had the best felt recoil reduction, yielding around 30 to 40%, but does have quite a few cons with it as well. Parker Mounted Machine, this does require a bit more maintenance as the barrel cannot be removed from the gun anymore, so cleaning it might be tough if you are OCD about your firearms being clean. Another con is this setup may require some tuning. With the real comp, you may find that shooting regular 115 grain ammo forces the slide to cycle too fast, therefore initiating ejector skip or possibly not locking back on the last round of a magazine. The only way to really help mitigate that is to swap the recoil springs out with a DPM recoil spring kit. It comes with 3 springs that are different weights, that way you can tune it yourself to get your gun running 100% reliably. The kit is right under $100, but we didn't add that in because some people actually do not need to even do that. Theirs will run reliably right out from installing the barrel comp, so we just didn't add that into the price. The last con would be that this threaded comp did come loose for me on a few occasions. I had it come loose on me about 3 to 4 different times. This didn't affect functionality for me at all, as Parker Mounted Machine has a capture design, so even if it came loose, it would never just completely fall off. It stayed on after a 2-day course and 1,000 rounds later, and I only noticed that it was loose after I was taking it apart to clean. Besides that, it ran perfectly through those 2 days of abuse. I found that the Loctite that Parker My Machine ships with was my issue. I used my own bottle of red Loctite, and 2,000 rounds later, it hasn't come loose yet. So essentially for the pros, this is the cheaper option between the two, as well as the option that yielded the most felt recoil reduction at 30 to 40%. And it's safe to say that this has been running 100% reliably for me after being properly tuned.
In conclusion, both are great options. The integrated comp from Sig does take the bite off felt recoil and will run right out of the box, while if you want the maximum felt recoil reduction and don't mind the additional time to tune, then the Parker Mountain Machine Comp is the way to go. So that concludes our video. Thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, please leave a like, share, and subscribe. If you have any additional questions, please leave us some comments below and we'll do our best to answer them. We'll see you in the next one.